again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to bring you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. Listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. Now here I go again. I see the crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams. And have you any dreams you'd like to sell? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering what you had or what you lost, or what you had or what you lost. Well, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Well, women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Well, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Well, women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. You'll know. You'll know. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. We're going to be looking at kind of the rhythm guitar parts today. Some of them are not things that are on the record, so kind of making it suitable to be able to play on your own. I'm not going to be going into the details of the lead guitar parts because they're absolutely sublime and they deserve a lesson just on their own. Now, relatively easy chords in this song. It's an F major 7 to a G chord for almost the whole thing. There's just a little section there in the instrumental part where it goes to an A minor. So what's really important here is working on the rhythm and making sure that you've got some rhythm tricks that you can use to keep the song interesting, because if you literally played F major 7 to G for the whole thing with the same rhythm pattern, it's definitely going to get pretty boring for the listener. So let's start by looking at the basic chord forms and some easy rhythm parts, and then look at little things that we can do to add some interest to this part. So the first chord we need would be this. It's an F major 7, third finger, 3rd fret on the 4th string, second finger, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, first finger, 1st fret on the 2nd string, and an open thinner string. We're only going to play those thinnest 4 strings, or if you're able to, you can wrap your thumb over to play that bass note and mute the 5th string. So in that case, we'd have the 1st fret, muted 5th string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, thinner string. Now, wrapping the thumb over is going to be very difficult for most beginners. So if you're newish to guitar, then you definitely want to keep the thumb around the back and just don't play those thickest 2 strings. At the very most, you might creep that thumb over a little bit just to mute the thicker string, but grabbing a hold of that F note is something that is a little bit tricky. I think it's a valuable skill to learn at some point. But if you're new to guitar, you've only been playing 6 months, a year, I wouldn't be even thinking about grabbing that thumb over. If you've been playing longer than that, you could maybe give it a try. Don't get hung up on it though, right? It's not going to stop you playing the song. It does sound cool, and it's a cool skill to develop though. So that's F major 7, either just the thinnest 4 strings or with the thumb over. Then we want a G. Now I would recommend that you use this version using fingers 3 and 4. Yes, you could play G other ways, but if you use this one, you open up the possibility of using some other fingers there for adding embellishments to the chord. So that would be my recommendation, would be the F major 7 to the G, like that. And as I said, pretty much the whole song is that. So let's just start off by going through 4 down strums to the bar, super simple rhythm, and making sure that we get the chords in the right place. So the intro is going to be F major 7 to G. And again, F major 7, either with the bass or not, up to you. Verse, F. Now hear you G again, you say F. You want your G chord. F. Well, who is G to keep you F? You get the idea. Same things over and over. F. It's only right, G, that you should F the way you G it. But F chord, careful G, to the sound F of your G chord. Let's still going. The F chord drives you G in the F chord of the G chord. What you had F, G, and what you lost F to G, and what you had F, G, and what you lost F. You get the idea, it's just changing between these two. And for the chorus, oh, F chord, only G chords when it's F chord, G, 2, 3, 4. F chord, only G's you when they're F'ing G. Say F, they will G, and they will F, G. F the rain washes G, then you'll F, G. The only time it's different, instrumental, F to G. Stay on the G for another bar, then goes down to F. Then it's A minor for 1 bar, G for 2 bars, G for another bar, then F. Da 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 da. And then we're into another verse. So it's literally F major 7 to G right the way through, except for that instrumental section. If you're not playing with anyone else, if you just play at a jam night, a party, you could leave out that section. If anyone knows the song, they'll be like, hey, well, it's not right. But it is only that very minor difference there, going F, G, G, F, then A minor, G, G, F. The little instrumental, very beautifully tasteful guitar parts in that little instrumental section, so it's not to be discounted. But, you know, if you left it out, if you're singing along at a party, I don't think that many people are probably going to notice. And so it should be obvious now that playing it with different rhythms and breaking it up a little bit and changing the way you play it is really important, because if you just do like real simple strumming all of the way through, it's definitely going to send your audience to sleep. So the first thing that I'd recommend that you do is develop a pattern that works really well. It's kind of a sparser pattern. And with all of these kind of things, it's about keeping the arm moving all the time. So the pattern I'd recommend that you get into first, just do it on the F major 7 first. We're just going to stay on that one chord. Will be this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Down, up, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Down, up, down, down, up, up, down. So you want to get used to that pattern first of all. Up, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Learn to play it a bit lightly as well. You don't want to be... Just keep the volume down, right? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now, you don't have to be really strict with the pattern. If you accidentally put in an extra strum or leave one out, doesn't matter. As long as you keep your hand moving, you're going to be strumming in time. So if I went... Or if I went... Doesn't matter. That's the pattern. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1. But especially at the end, you could go up, up, down, up, down. Or you could leave off that first up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3. So long as that hand is moving, it really is the most important thing that you can learn about doing this and developing the dynamics, as well learning to control the volume a little bit and bring the verses down, gradually building it up into the pre-chorus. And in the chorus, generally, you're going to be doing even eighth note strumming, but let's deal with that in a second. So my recommendation for the intro, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to bring you down? I think this rhythm pattern works really nicely for this. It's only right, what was that strumming pattern you did there? I did something different and that's okay. Make it different if you want to dance. So if you're familiar with the song, and what happens in my imagination is that when I'm playing the song, the original song is kind of running in my head, and sometimes I'm able to pick out different kind of rhythm patterns from the drums or the bass or a guitar lick or something, just to be able to add in a little fill there sometimes. And you can try and learn specific ones if you like, but my recommendation would be more just trying to go with the flow, keeping the hand moving a little bit, having some kind of standardized patterns that you can fall back on, that you can work on to practice. But as you develop, you want to try and allow yourself that freedom to add in some extra strums or play a little variation. You know, drummers do it all the time. They'll play a set pattern for like 3 bars, and at the end of the 4th bar, they'll just do something a little different. And the same with this kind of music where things are strumming patterns are the same a lot, then it's nice to have a little bit of a variation at the end of a little section, or exactly halfway through a section, or building up into a new section, that kind of thing. So just kind of be aware of that a little bit and see if you can find some things that you like. Just trying to think if I can recall the one I did, because that is one that, sorry, the record, now who am I to break you down? Here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just literally going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's a nice little feel. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there's one specific one that you might like to try. And 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that kind of feels like a bit of a drum groove from the actual song. It's kind of picking up some of those accents, you know, and I feel like that's pretty important. Now, this song has those verses, and then it's got the pre-chorus, which is the like a heartbeat drives you mad section. And you've got 2 options there, because the chorus you want to be big, right? You want that to be the biggest thing. So in that next section, you can either step up 1 from the verse to make it a little bit busier, or you could drop it down a little bit, but it probably doesn't want to be exactly the same. If you're a more skilled guitar player, you can start looking at like picking out notes individually and targeting melodic ideas within it is a nice idea that you could experiment with. Beginners, I'd recommend just maybe stepping up the volume just a little bit or adding in an extra strum. So if I just go from the end of the listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness. Like a heartbeat drives you mad, in the stillness of remembering what you had. It's nice to bring it down. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and what you had and what you lost. building up. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Oh, players only love you when they're playing. Oh, women. So you can see there, going into that chorus and going to continuous strumming. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I'm playing around with there is accents. So for the first part, I'm trying to hit beats 2 and 4 a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But again, these are just ideas. I think the original recording does move to the eighth notes thing on the acoustic guitar part, but we're not trying to play exactly what's on the record. I'm trying to show you a way of making an acoustic version sound nice on its own. So if the chorus is going to be that even eighth notes, the pre-chorus either got a drop down, which I personally think kind of works best, or just building it up just a little bit. That is absolutely valid too. When it comes to the instrumental section, I tend to keep that fairly straight because there's going to be someone else doing a solo there, I guess. So I'm going to show you another little trick in just a sec. Da 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 da. Now here I go again. I see the crystal visions. Back to that verse pattern. I keep my visions to myself. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Dream and not to tucked away your dreams. And have you any dreams you'd like to sell? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. And the stillness of remembering what you had. This is one of those songs, because it's only got those chords and it's all rhythm based. It's a really, really good one to be working on your rhythm skills, not just like playing the right pattern, but trying to make it feel nice and being aware of the volume, being aware of the loud and the quiet and where it's fitting within the song, and trying to make a simple thing really musical. I feel like that's so important. It's something that people forget, and because this song is simple with the chords, then it gives you all of that kind of, it only leaves you the rhythm to put your attention on. Okay, so that would be my recommendation. But there is something else that I use quite often with this song that I'm just going to show you because I think it's a nice idea, and that's on the G chord there. So if you're using the fingers 3 and 4, I really like this movement. Putting the first finger down there, the first fret of the second string, makes it a G sus4, a G sus, the most holy of chords. And you can also put second finger down there, it makes it a G add 9. But I'm just thinking there like things that you can add in if you want to add a little interest. And for the and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and the sus, off, then second finger going down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So I can just create that little melody line there. You can experiment. Just experimenting now, but playing around with that as an idea, having those notes there that you can play around with, I think is a really fun idea, and I'd encourage you just to explore that and see what you come up with. I often talk about how important rhythm is, and of course if you haven't checked out the JustinGuitar Lessons and Songs app, you might be missing a trick there, because what most beginner guitar players struggle with is the rhythm, and most of the time the problem is caused by pausing between chord changes. So they'll be going, now here you go again, you say, like that with stops, and it's the worst habit that you can develop. And the idea in the app is that we have backing tracks that you can play along with, and when you're playing along, the backing track doesn't stop. So it forces you to get your chord changes in order and forces you to get your rhythm nice and strong. So if you haven't checked out the app before, do go and have a look. There's usually a free trial on at some point, so go and have a little play around, see if it doesn't help you with your rhythm. Really hope you enjoyed this one. Remember, hundreds of free lessons over on the website, all graded by difficulty, so you can find exactly the right song for you to explore. Have yourself an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye-bye.